Hello everyone, dear viewers, and before this video starts, I ask you to subscribe to the channel and like it, and also go and watch our previous videos. Thank you all very much for your activity. Good luck to everyone and enjoy watching. And now we begin. The Mountain Adventure of Four Friends. Liam, Emma, Noah, and Mia were best friends. They all lived in the same town. Every weekend they met in the park, played games, and talked about everything. One Saturday afternoon, they sat under a big tree, drinking juice and eating sandwiches. "I want to do something different," said Liam. "Like what?" asked Emma. "A trip," said Liam. "Let's go camping in the mountains." "Just the four of us." "Camping?" said Mia. "That sounds fun, but I've never slept in a tent." "We will learn together," said Noah with a smile. "It will be an adventure," everyone agreed. They decided to go the next weekend. They would stay for 2 nights. They were all very excited. During the week, they made a plan. Liam had a big tent. Emma had a small camping stove. Noah had a flashlight and cooking pots. Mia brought sleeping bags and a first aid kit. They also packed warm clothes, water bottles, food, and snacks. Liam's dad gave them a map and a compass. "Be careful," he said. "And don't forget to enjoy every moment." Finally, Saturday came. The sun was shining. The sky was blue. They met at the bus station at 8 a.m. Everyone had a backpack. They took a bus to the mountain village. After 2 hours, they got off the bus. The fresh air smelled of trees and flowers. "Wow," said Emma. "It's so quiet here." "I love it already," said Mia. They started walking up the trail. The path was full of rocks, trees, and birds. They laughed, sang songs, and took many photos. After an hour, they found a flat place near a small river. There were tall trees around and soft grass on the ground. "This is perfect," said Liam. "Let's set up the tent here." They worked together. Liam showed them how to open the tent and fix the poles. Noah helped put the ropes in the ground. Mia and Emma placed the sleeping bags inside. When they finished, they looked at their new home. "We did it," said Mia. "I can't wait for the night," said Emma. In the afternoon, they explored the area. They followed the river and found small waterfalls. They saw squirrels, butterflies, and even a deer far away. They sat on rocks and put their feet in the cool water. It was peaceful. When they returned, the sun was going down. Liam said, "Let's make a fire." They gathered dry wood and stones. Noah arranged the wood in a circle of rocks. Liam used a fire starter. After a few tries, the fire came to life. "It's beautiful," whispered Emma. They sat around the fire, feeling its warmth. Emma cooked pasta on the small stove. Mia made tea. They ate, drank, and shared stories. They laughed so much that their faces hurt. Then, Liam took out marshmallows. Time for the best part. They roasted the marshmallows on sticks. They were sweet and soft. As the stars appeared, the sky turned dark blue. It was quiet except for the sound of the river and the fire. "I've never seen so many stars," said Noah. "I feel like we're in a movie," said Mia. They talked about life, school, dreams, and the future. They told ghost stories too, but not too scary. Around midnight, they went into the tent. It was cold, but the sleeping bags were warm. The four friends lay close and whispered until they fell asleep. The next morning, birds woke them up. "I slept so well," said Liam. "Me too," said Emma. It was like sleeping in the clouds. They had breakfast, fruit, bread, and tea. Then they packed some snacks and went hiking. They climbed a small hill. From the top, they could see the whole valley. The mountains looked like giants. The trees danced in the wind. They took photos and sat under a tree. Emma read a poem she had written. "This is beautiful," said Noah. You should write more, said Mia. As the stars appeared, the sky turned dark blue. It was quiet except for the sound of the river and the fire. I've never seen so many stars, said Noah. I feel like we're in a movie, said Mia. They talked about life, school, dreams, and the future. They told ghost stories too, but not too scary. Around midnight, they went into the tent. It was cold, but the sleeping bags were warm. The four friends lay close and whispered until they fell asleep. The next morning, birds woke them up. I slept so well, said Liam. Me too, said Emma. It was like sleeping in the clouds. They had breakfast, fruit, bread, and tea. Then they packed some snacks and went hiking. They climbed a small hill. From the top, they could see the whole valley. The mountains looked like giants. The trees danced in the wind. They took photos and sat under a tree. Emma read a poem she had written. This is beautiful, said Noah. You should write more, said Mia. The stars, the tent, everything was perfect. When they returned home, their parents were waiting. Tell us everything, said Liam's mom. And they did. The final night in the mountains. On their last day in the mountains, Liam, Emma, Noah, and Mia woke up early. The sun was rising over the trees. The sky was pink and orange. Birds were singing. Everything looked calm and beautiful. Let's enjoy our last full day, said Emma as she stretched her arms. I agree, said Noah. Let's make it special. They started the morning by making pancakes on the small camping stove. Emma mixed the flour, eggs, and milk. Mia cooked them carefully, flipping each pancake with a spoon. Liam added honey on top, and Noah made hot tea. They ate together near the tent, enjoying the warm food and sunshine. After breakfast, they played a game with sticks and stones. They built small towers and tried to knock them over with pebbles. They laughed when the towers fell. Later, they decided to go to a place they hadn't explored yet, a quiet meadow beyond the river. They packed snacks, water, and the guitar. They crossed a wooden bridge and walked through tall grass. There were flowers everywhere, yellow, purple, and white. Bees buzzed around. In the middle of the meadow stood a big tree. It had thick branches and a wide trunk. This is our special place now, said Mia. They sat under the tree. Liam played the guitar. Emma sang a soft song. Mia drew pictures in her notebook, one of the tree, one of the river, and one of the group together. Noah lay on the grass, looking at the sky. But this is something we'll never forget, said Liam. They stayed there for a long time. Then they ate apples and biscuits. After that, they took a nap under the tree. The wind blew gently. It was the kind of afternoon that felt like a dream. When they woke up, the sun was lower in the sky. Time to head back, said Noah. As they walked, they found animal tracks on the ground. Maybe a fox or a deer, said Mia. Let's follow them, said Liam. They followed the tracks for a little while. Then they heard a noise. It was rustling in the bushes. Maybe a rabbit, said Emma, but when they looked closer, it was a small wild goat. It had tiny horns and brown fur. It's so cute, whispered Mia. They watched quietly. The goat looked at them for a moment, then ran away into the trees. Forest was full of life. When they reached the tent, it was almost evening. They were hungry again. Let's make a big meal tonight, said Liam. They cooked pasta with vegetables. Mia made soup with potatoes and carrots. They also had bread and cheese. After dinner, they sat around the fire once again. The flames danced, and the stars appeared above them. I don't want this night to end, said Emma. Let's make it last, said Noah. They played music, sang songs, and told stories. This time, they shared memories from their childhood. Emma told about her first bike ride. Mia shared a story about getting lost in a supermarket. Liam remembered falling into a pond while chasing a duck. Noah laughed so hard he had tears in his eyes. Then the mood became quiet. What will we remember most about this trip? Asked Liam. The stars, said Emma. The laughter, said Mia. The silence of the trees, said Noah. The feeling of being free, said Liam. They sat in silence for a moment. The fire made crackling sounds. An owl hooted nearby. I think we needed this, said Emma. We needed to be away from everything. To find something new. We also found something old, said Mia. Our friendship. It's stronger now. Noah nodded. I feel closer to all of you than ever. They stayed awake late into the night. When they finally went into the tent, they all slept close together. No one wanted to be far from the others. In the morning, they packed everything. The tent came down. The sleeping bags were rolled up. The trash was cleaned. They made sure the fire was completely out. Leave no trace, said Liam, remembering what his dad had told him. When everything was ready, they took one last look around. This place is a part of us now, said Mia. They took a group photo, all four standing together with the forest behind them. Then they walked back to the village, tired but smiling. At the bus stop, they waited quietly. A gentle wind blew through the trees. I already miss it, said Emma. We'll come back, said Liam. The bus came, and they got on. Through the window, they waved goodbye to the mountains. On the way home, they didn't speak much. Everyone was thinking. Thinking about the trees, the stars, the fire, and the friendship. They had gone on a camping trip, but they had found something more: peace, joy, and connection. When they arrived back in town, their parents were waiting. Hugs, smiles, and questions followed. Was it cold at night? What did you eat? Did you see any wild animals? They answered every question with stories and laughter. That night, Liam, Emma, Noah, and Mia talked on the phone again. They already missed each other, even though they had just spent 3 days together. I'll never forget the mountain trip, said Emma. Let's do something every year, said Noah. Next time, maybe a lake or the forest, said Mia. Anywhere, said Liam, as long as we are together. And so, the story of the 4 friends and their mountain adventure ended, but their friendship, their memories, and their love for nature were only beginning.